This Premier League Matchday 17 picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play $5, get $75 in bonus funds. Sign up with the code PIGLGP. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the north east of England. Today is Thursday, December the 18th. We are here to have a little look over a few midweek games in the EFL Cup, have some chit-chat, and then get stuck right into the Matchday 17 games in the Prem this weekend, from Saturday at lunchtime through to Monday night again. Joining us, looking very festive, as always, is Mr. Barry Benaluna. Barry, hello, mate. What's happening?
Evening. Not a lot. What's happening?
I'll start on a sour note, Barry.
Oh.
I know I don't want to bring everyone down, but overlooked for Sports Personality of the Year again. Me and you. Oh. Well, mainly me, but me and you if you want.
Who won it? I didn't pay any attention.
Neither have I. The minute it wasn't us, then I stopped watching. I assume, well, if anyone with any sense, it had to be Rory McIlroy, didn't it? But it was quite woke. It was very BBC, like, you know, like women's rugby players and that. People rivaling Rory McIlroy's lifetime Grand Slam in golf. All of that stuff. Anyway, so that's disappointing, Baz. We go again next year. We'll regroup and we'll have another little go. We'll say hello to the chat before we get stuck into anything else. From the bottom up, Shane from New Zealand. Shane's on debut, making his debut tonight. Long-time listener, first-time caller, all of that. Welcome along, mate. Nice to have you. Arms across the sea from Shane. Can't be too late because the test match has been starting, hasn't it? It's got to be, times the cricket been starting at 11:30, which will be, it's got to be about 9 a.m, I reckon, for Shane. Smudger's here. Callum, Fef, ready to get stuck into me the minute I make a pick. Who else is here? Joe Dollar was first in, I reckon, as well. Welcome along, Joe. If you are lurking, by all means, say that's 11 a.m. in the morning for Shane. He's got no excuse. It's not been a bad week, Barry. Good midweek. We finished off the Premier League on Monday night with a bloodless win. I think everyone would. We talked about a couple of games last weekend being like killers for bet builders and shit like that, where whatever you picked, you couldn't pick a winner. On Monday night, you couldn't not pick, unless you picked Man United to win the game. Everything else was gravy, wasn't it? So that was over the line. So that was an easy cash to finish the weekend off. Swept the AFL Cup picks, which we'll come to in a little minute. And then Newcastle scraped to win as well, which is always good. I went to that gig on Monday night. We did the show early, didn't we, on Monday, so I could go to that gig. So I took Betty to our first gig. It was, first of all, Baz, I sent you a photo of the venue, didn't I?
Yeah.
It was absolutely wild, like. It was in the old Mining Institute right in town. So a proper old sort of grade 2 listed building was the Mechanical Engineering and Mining Institute from like 1852 or something. And it was just incredible. Stained glass window. We were in this library, portraits, busts, you name it, all over the place. So that was nice for a start. What I didn't realise, though, Baz, was that the band we went to see, Ida, have a huge queer following. Oh. Now, not particularly anything to do with the music or whatever, and I don't think the two ladies in the group were, I don't know what they fucking were. But anyway, they had a huge queer following. So it turned, there was about 70 people in the crowd, which was 68 lesbians, me and Betty, effectively. And I could tell because they all looked like they'd cut their hair with a knife and fork. So that was a big clue. There was a lot of armpit hair on show. But it was really, really good. They were very down on the patriarchy, Barry. I had to keep my head down. I had to keep very well behaved. There was no patriarchy shenanigans. So that was good. But also, Barry, I messaged you earlier on. Did you do the request I asked you earlier on? All right, okay. I just want to bring something up, Baz, because
about 2 minutes ago,
it's the domestic bliss.
It's possibly going to be quite controversial, this.
All right, okay. The domestic bliss in Bamford Towers has been disrupted, Barry, because the IT department at lunchtime today messaged me and said, can you empty the dishwasher? I mean, I haven't got enough to do. Do you know what I mean? I'm only one man, Barry. But having just mentioned the patriarchy, I was still running scared from Monday night. So I agreed to empty the dishwasher. I couldn't get all the mugs in the cupboard. I think I've touched on this in the past. I couldn't get all the mugs in the cupboard. There's not enough room. There's an overspill. It's like an overspill car park of mugs. So, and I just thought this is fucking ridiculous. So when she came home, I've then obviously pulled her about it because, you know what I mean? This is how harmonious, it's how marriage works.
People in the chat need to start guessing which of us has got the most mugs in the cupboard.
I want all the people in the chat. Everyone's got a role to play in this, Barry. So I said to her, there's too many mugs. Listen, there's too many mugs. And she was like, no. When that gets tidied, when that gets tidy, when that gets built, when that gets fixed, there'll be room for all the mugs. I was like, right, that's as may be, but there's too many. So I counted the mugs, Barry. And now it sounds like you might have too many mugs as well. Have you got far too many? Right. I've got ridiculous 25, Barry. Is that what you got? What are you sitting on?
I thought I had quite a lot. 16.
Yeah, well, so
there's
there you go.
Of us. I don't drink hot drinks. I never drink out of a mug all year round. I would never drink out of a mug because I only ever drink cold drinks. Helen doesn't very often have a coffee. And the kids maybe have a hot chocolate once a month. Maybe it's out of a mug. Like, the mugs don't even get used in this house. They just sit in the cupboard.
There's probably 7 or 8 in the rotation. I've got certain ones that I like. I like coffee out of a few. I mean, you'll know. I mean, I'll sit here with them. All you people will be aware. I've got my Bigfoot mug. I've got my black and white NFC mug. I've got some of these. So to bring Data Dave in early, the get to know Data Dave section. I asked him what the right amount of mugs is. And Data Dave said, number of people in the family times 2, add 2, which is fucking perfect. You know what I mean? Good sense. So that would be 10, Barry, for us. So what I wouldn't mind people over the next few days, if you've got nothing better to do, would be to either let us know on Twitter how many mugs you've got, or better still, if you've got a photograph, I'll post a photo of our mugs and the overspill mug area, because I couldn't get them in the cupboard, but there was still mugs over there by the sink. It's not like they were all. I had one on the go. I could see one in Bob's bedroom that I never bothered tidying up. I just looked at it. And there was like 2 over by the sink, so that you've got the cupboard and the overspill mug car park, and there's still like 4 in play around the place. So I'm pleased about that.
I mean, going by the chat, it seems this is a common problem. Lee's saying he's been 10 mugs last week.
Lee, I just read Lee's message. Weirdly, I binned 10 mugs last week because she bought another set to gather fucking dust. Not spoke to me since. Get in. It's Christmas time. It's the time for mug fighting. That's quality. I'll remind everyone to get the picks in on predictaddict.co.uk. You can do that, Barry.
Yeah, on it.
In a little bit. I will also remind people, let me read this out, to get access to all of our free picks and podcasts in one convenient place, the SGPN app. Download for free in your app store or just type in SGPN. We are double parking tonight. If you're not live, if you're a podcast listener, we're going to do the AFCON preview immediately after this. So any endurance athletes who are live, anyone wants to go back-to-back, we'll try and keep the AFCON all business and less silliness. But we're going to do the big AFCON show as well, which starts on Sunday afternoon in Morocco. So if you're having a bet on that, give us a listen. Francis G's joined us. Frank, welcome along. Nice to see you. Can't have enough mugs, is Frank's assessment. Football-wise, as well as hitting Man United Bournemouth, I had a little sweep, Barry, and we were we were chinned, absolutely chinned from the team sweep from 6 out to 6. The Chelsea's 94th minute goal, the third goal, cost you, didn't it? So I hit 3 out of 3. All odds against. They were all plus money as well. So I'm buzzing with that, Baz. I had both teams to score. Cardiff, Chelsea was 21-20. The only thing I want to say about that is I thought Cardiff were excellent. Like, Cardiff had a real good game. They played well, scored a great goal. It looked like it was going to pens. And then Chelsea scored 85, 92 or something. And you had the handicap, didn't you? So you got changed a little bit. Manchester City on the handicap, plus 102. So just over even money. The only thing in there really worth talking about was the red card. Like, they've got to send off Kusanov, haven't they?
Yeah.
And the explanation, what is this bit of hair doing, Baz? I've stuck it down. I can't even... the explanation of the referee said, the linesman told me that he'd kicked it away from goal.
Yeah. But he
hadn't.
hadn't.
That's all well and good, but you were fucking stood looking at it.
Yeah.
So, if I'm making you talking now, if you say to me, Barry, that mug's red, I said, no, it's not. I'm looking at it. It's black and white. It's the same. Well, you don't just believe him. You were looking at it. It's absolutely bonkers. So that was a load of shit. Whether or not it would have made any difference, Man City could have turned the screw. And then Newcastle, Fulham, both teams scored the over 2.5, got there late on. Don't really know what to make of Newcastle. They made a few changes, got away with it late doors. I thought Fulham were all right. And then just wanted to get onto the draw a little bit, Barry. Obviously, it's Arsenal Palace. Next week, winners will take on Chelsea. And then Manchester City, Newcastle, Man City. We play them at home first, don't we? So I was just trying to make the case. I wanted to make the case. Were you downhearted about the draw, Baz, at all?
I didn't really care. There was no easy draw there, was there? Let's be honest.
No, there wasn't an easy draw.
Yeah, you've got to beat them over 2 legs. I think you take your chances. You've just got to do what you've got to do. So yeah, it didn't bother me who we got. I would like to have had the second leg at home. But yeah, it doesn't matter, does it?
Well, I can make you feel better, Baz. So there's 3 things in play for Newcastle. It's in sort of the 3rd week in January, and so we might be in better form by then, Barry, because we've been in poor form. Things might have picked up. We'll have some of our injured players back, at least Burn, Trippier, Hall, maybe Botman, Tino. In fact, any of them could be back. And then we play them that midweek. On deck, on the Saturday lunchtime, they've got Man United. Now, the team they picked last night was a bang average team. They're playing that lad up front, Divine something. Kusanov played. They made a load of changes. And if they do that, they might not go as weak. I mean, it's still a solid team. But they've got Man United on Saturday lunchtime. So that just gives us a little bit of hope. But so I didn't want anyone to be downhearted, any Newcastle fans. Because Betty's got a heart set on the London trip, the Wembley trip. Obviously, Bob went last year, so it's her. She was the most excited person in the stadium. It was pretty subdued. It's a midweek cup game. It was late. It was cold. It was Fulham. There's a load of kids there, stuff like a lot of people who don't go as often. So it was pretty quiet. She was the most excited person in the stadium because she's got her mind absolutely set on this Wembley trip. Baz, much catch your eye this midweek. You hit 2 out of 3, didn't you? Like I say, you were chinned by that late Chelsea goal.
Yeah, I took the only one that lost for me was the Cardiff handicap, and a bit of a kick in the balls when it's 1-1 with 20 minutes to go. Looking all right. Even 2-1 would have been fine because it was plus 1.5. And then, 93rd minute, a little bit of a kick in the bollocks. But yeah, I picked the other two winners. And we did mention on the show, we thought the 3 favourites were all worth sticking in a treble, which came in.
I forgot. Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was 3.5 to 1 or something silly, wasn't it? Or was it a bit shorter? I wrote it down. Yeah, I've got 2 to 1. It was just. Oh yeah, I've over-egged that. Yeah, 2 to 1. Yeah, got there. It's funny though because those 3 games and they just seemed easy. But I said they only seemed easy because I picked them right. And then we sit here some days with a 2 and 8 week or whatever, and they're not as easy. But it's the same thing. Just so happened, I just felt like that was pretty straightforward. I would say. Bit of Lewis Miley chat in the comments. Yeah, he's progressively. He's a funny player because the only thing he ever does is give it to the player closest to him. He never tries anything
Who's this?
Lewis Miley.
Yeah.
He never tries anything even remotely complicated. He gives it to whoever stood nearest to him, whether it's Chow, Shire, if it's Bruno, if it's a fullback. He looks around, and if they're 1 yard away, he'll still just give it to them. He literally, there you go. But it's like working out quite well. We come on to him in a bit because I think his role in the Newcastle-Chelsea match is going to be pretty important at the weekend. Baz, anything you want to add before we make some Premier League picks?
No, we better crack on with it, haven't we?
Okay. I'm going to read this out, though. Watch this. Kalshi. We've just partnered up with Kalshi, a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. You can read tons of markets in sports, including NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, loads of other markets and entertainment too. With Kalshi, you can trade anything. New Kalshi customers get $20 when they use the promo code SGPN. That's KALSHI. Promo code SGPN. Underdog is your home for pick 'em entries. You can move to 5,000 times your money. Underdog has you covered this holiday season with Underdog Unwrapped. You'll unwrap tons of promos all through the holidays. The new offer, this is a belter, play $5, get $75 in bonus funds. Sign up with the code PLGP at Underdog. So, Baz, I've done something a tiny little bit different today. I had a bit of a fragmented day today. Normally, I sit down and do this all at once, but I was doing bits and bobs. So I made my picks in small windows. Like, for example, I was boiling some potatoes, Barry. So yeah, I've got 20 minutes, haven't I? So what I did was I looked at the obvious ones first. I thought I'll do the easy ones. I looked down the list. If anything jumps out, I'll just do that. And so what's happened is I've kind of ended up with them ranked like 1 to 10. Because my favourite picks were the obvious, the hard ones were the bottom ones. So we'll do them in sequence, but I've given everything a pick from 1 to 10. So maybe, Barry, I might just have unlocked something here. You know what I mean? Like if me 1, 2, and 3, because we said the lock record's been pretty good. Some of our corned beef payakas, which would be like your 1, 2, and 3 picks kind of thing. And then the 7, 8, 9. Equally, it might be complete nut of bollocks, and we might never speak of this again. So I just ranked them as we go, which is apropos of nothing. It means nothing, but I will shout it out because, it's interesting on that, isn't it, Barry?
That sounds interesting. Okay. I'm interested.
You're interested? Fucking hell. I was talking to Andy Williams last night, and it's still his favourite thing is your lack of interest in absolutely anything. We were just talking about nothing, and his little shoulders were going, what are you laughing at? He's just Barry. Barry's lack of interest in anything is my favourite part of the show. So don't be interested, Barry. We'll lose a listener.
We'll get started on AFCON later.
Oh, yeah. Andy, you love the AFCON show. If you want disinterested Barry, you can have a solid 45 minutes of it. Lunchtime, Saturday. Big old game. Game I shall be at. Newcastle United take on Chelsea. Newcastle is 7-4, plus 175. The draw 13-5. Plus 260. Chelsea are 29-20, plus 145. Been a little bit of money for Chelsea, actually. They were 6-4. Number 7, Barry, on the list. This was number 7. So it's a 7-star. That would be a 3-star ranking if we're going from top to bottom. It's my 7th favourite, not my 3rd favourite. 7. Skirted this for a long time, because the actual outcome was really hard to call, I thought. But then think about it, and the actual bet came pretty easy. So as much as I think trying to pick a winner is tricky, picking the bet wasn't tricky for me. There's 2 problems with Newcastle. They're impossible to predict. They've got poor form in spots, and then you've got wins against Man City, the 4-1 at Everton, in other spots. And the second thing in place is that they are very, very injured defensively. Lost Byrne last Sunday, lost Tino last night. That adds to Lewis Hall, Botman, Trippier, Kraft, Lascelles, all out. So we ended up playing Lewis Miley, who we've just talked about at right back last night. Did all right. Different, whether it's Garnacho, Neto, Gittins, there's millions of the fuckers in there. Whichever one it is at the weekend should be a different thing. And we've got no left back at all. Who's going to play left back, Baz?
It might end up being Murphy, mightn't it? He might actually have to start.
Yeah. So no left back at all. Chelsea, however, the form's not reliable. They've got a terrible record at St James's Park. We always spank them. Always spank them. But this does seem like a very good time to visit. I can't pick against Newcastle because we regularly show that ability to win at home against good teams. We've done it for years. But there's a pick that stands out that's hit last night against Fulham. It's hitting 6 of Newcastle's 8 home games, plus Champions League against Barcelona if you want. And very often, coming off a winning pick, I like to pick it again. It's one of those things. It's the both teams to score over 2.5. 2-1 to someone. I've got a feeling, unfortunately, it might be Chelsea. Both teams to score over 2.5. It's 9-2. -111. Everyone wants the cards. Joe, the first pick Joe mentioned before we even started was the Chelsea card ladder. Frank's gone for Cucurella. Smudger wants both teams red. I don't know why we're... Enzo and Bruno for Fefweb. So everyone fancies it to be a bit touchy, which you can absolutely say, actually, Baz. What have you got?
I've gone down the same route as you. I mean, whenever Newcastle's at home, I'll normally start with their home form, and that normally gives me encouragement to take Newcastle in these sort of games. But on this occasion, my immediate thought was, I think it's a really tricky spot for Newcastle. Coming off a Wednesday night game where Chelsea have played on the Tuesday, so they've had the extra day's rest. But also those defensive injuries you mentioned. I think, we're probably going to see Miley at right back. And I can't say any other option but Alex Murphy, who is very untested at Premier League level, possibly starting at left back. So a big concern around those defensive injuries. Can Chelsea capitalise on it? Hard to know what to make at Chelsea at the moment. Win over Everton last week broke a 4-game winless streak. And the away form for them hasn't been great. 2 wins in the last 6. And those 2 wins was Cardiff last night and Burnley a few weeks ago. So away from home, Chelsea have struggled a bit. Newcastle at home, unbeaten in 9. 8 wins in the 9 games as well. And scored 2 or more in all of the last 9 home games, Newcastle. I still don't really trust them hugely at the moment. They're not playing well enough to be really confident in Newcastle in any situation, even with that home form. And so goals was where I ended up. Last 4 games at home have all ended up 2-1 or 2-2. I just don't see Newcastle picking up a clean sheet at the moment. And so the both teams to score and over 2.5 appeal to me as well. It's hitting 4 straight home games and 8 of the last 9 in all competitions for Newcastle. Both teams to score and over 2.5 will be my pick. Team ride, 10-11.
Ray Gunn gets an early outing. We might be on for the record. What's the record? 4. Who's in charge of that?
Fef monitors it.
Fef counting that up. Oh, well, we're off and running with 1. James Maffia has joined us. Oi, James. Welcome along. Come on, Everton, says James. Man City, innit? Saturday, 3 o'clock. This is not for the patriarchy. This is for Courtney. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 3 o'clock kickoffs on Saturday, starting with the last man standing pick, I think, for anybody. Bournemouth taking on Burnley. Bournemouth are 9-20. The only problem, because I didn't do these in order, is I don't know where the fucking list is. Bournemouth, -222. The draw 7-2, plus 350. And Burnley are 6-1, Baz.
Yeah, quite a short one on this one. Both sides coming into it on a 7-game winless streak. Bournemouth's streak a little bit better because it includes 3 draws there. And they have scored 9 goals in those 7 games, despite not winning a game. Burnley's 7 have all been defeats, and they've conceded 2 goals or more in all but one of those defeats as well. They have picked up a few goals, Burnley, though. 6 goals in total in their last 7 games, so they are occasionally capable of getting on the score sheet. I felt like Bournemouth should be good enough to get back to winning ways here, but I just can't trust them. They haven't won in 7, and certainly not at this short a price. Far, far too short for a team that aren't winning games. I think Burnley will score. Bournemouth have conceded 20 goals in their last 9 games. So I've gone for the both teams to score here. Bournemouth might win it, But Burnley will nick a goal. Can't have Bournemouth at such a short price. So both teams to score 4-5.
Yeah, trusting Bournemouth to win is tricky because they haven't been, you're right, no win in 7. They did show a little bit more against Manchester United on Monday. They scored 4 times, and they have won 4 of their 8 games at home, including the comp games, Fulham, Forest, Wolves. And you won't get a better chance to win a game than Burnley because regardless of what pattern the game takes, Burnley get beat. They can play quite well and give you a game, score a couple of goals and get beat. They can play poorly and get beat. They can keep it tight and get beat. They can be wide open and get. It doesn't matter. They're getting beat. So Bournemouth to win with over 2.5 goals tagged on gives us a couple of options, which is either Burnley join in, which is what you think and what Francis thinks, Big TTS. Burnley join in and get a goal, like the game at Newcastle last week, or Bournemouth could stuff them 3-0 is option 2. So Bournemouth to win with over 2.5 goals tagged on is 11-10 plus 110. That was number 4, by the way, Barry. That was match rank number 4. Carry on with Brighton and Hove Albion against Sunderland. Brighton are 13-20. I didn't write down the American odds for that. What do you reckon that is, Baz?
13-20.
13-20. Tricky, that, isn't it?
Could be anything, couldn't it?
Hang on. I'll get my odds converter right up here. Hang on. 13-20. Oh, I've put it in the wrong fucking box. This is good content. 30 minus 153 is the answer. 3-1 Brighton. Sunderland 21-4 plus 425. This, Barry, is number 2. Second best bet on the card, this. I looked at this on like 2 days ago and thought, oh yeah, that's easy. I'll leave that. I was drawn to the unders immediately for a couple of reasons. First, it's kind of counterintuitively over Brighton. 3 of the last 4 of the last 6 have gone under 2.5, including the last 2 in a row. And the second thing here was it's really hard to get that image of Sunderland Newcastle out your head last week when both teams could still be playing now and not have scored without the intervention of Big Nick, obviously. 3 out of their last 5 have gone under. Now, the fly in the ointment here is the AFCON players missing for Sunderland. And because I've had my head in AFCON, I've got a couple of good stats for a few teams here. Sunderland are missing 6 players. So they're missing the most minutes, 4,412 minutes played cumulatively by their AFCON players. That's 1,400 minutes more than Fulham, who were the team in second place. So it remains to be seen how Sunderland react. But just looks low scoring, both teams. And it's the underdog of the 2 prices. It's even money as well. So yeah, I'll take under 2.5 Baz at evens.
Yeah. Brighton winless in the last 3 games now, and they conceded 7 in those 3 games as well. Brighton have gone a little bit off the boil. Sunderland's recent form shows 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses in their last 6. But the wins both coming at home. The away form, they haven't been as reliable. Just 2 wins in the last 8 away from home. Like you, I spotted there's lots of form for low scoring in Sunderland's recent form. 6 of their 8 away games have finished under 2.5 goals. It was a game where I would like to have been able to fade Sunderland because of all those AFCON players who've now gone and the fact they're away from home. But I thought Brighton were too short a price for me. So I was happy to go low scoring as well. I think Brighton might nick it 1 or 2-0, but I'm going to take the unders, even money.
Ooh, 2 out of 3. It's on, Baz. It is absolutely on. I'll do one more game before we read some adverts out. 3 o'clock, Manchester City take on West Ham United. Man City 1-5, minus 500. West Ham 13-2, plus 650. And West Ham are 10-1, Baz.
Yeah, this was a fairly straightforward pick for me, although a little bit of a short price one. But City have won 6 of the last 7 league games and scored at least 3 goals in each of those 6 wins. At home, they've won 7 in a row and scored 3 or more goals in 6 of the 7 home games. West Ham have conceded 3 or more 5 times already this season, including last week at home to Villa. I did consider the both to score in here, the over 2.5 and both to score, because I've done all right with City on that recently. But I got stung on it last week. City winning 3-0 against Palace. And City have had back-to-back clean sheets now. Palace and Sunderland failed to score against them. So it was City goals for me. Team total, it seems to hit every week. They'll find 3 goals somewhere. Short price, but it's a winner. 8-11, City to score 3 or more.
Not a rare gun here, Baz, but very, very nearly. I was dancing all around it because my main points are your main points. 6 wins in 7. And the team's totals are those 6, 3-3, 5, 3-3-3, which is reliable. I mean, West Ham's still sitting in 18th after this mini revival. They're still in the bottom 3, by the way. I don't trust them. They picked up 3 points from the last 15. The problem is finding a bet, and City -2 on the handicap was evens. So I've kind of said to say, if City score 3, you've just talked about the clean sheets and stuff. So we might have to take the push at -2. But City -2 at evens. So if they score the 3 goals that you're talking about, maybe that's enough. And it was a better price. So I'll take Manchester City -2. James Mafia, our City fan, has gone for Savinho for a goal. I've just lost Francis's pick. Where's that fucking toggle gone? There it is. City to win and Haaland to score. I mean, yeah. Why? Do you know what I mean? Reading that out, it just sounds incredibly obvious. Like, you're absolutely right. We'll move on after Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. You get the best prices. Download the Novig app. Get $50 when you spend $5. Use the promo code SGPN. Get on the action with Novig. Promo code SGPN. And Rhythm has crushed NFL this season, especially on props. Really good at identifying when to fade players and take those unders. College basketball is up and running. The daily TCE show, Matt Colby, Noah, every game is sorted. Loads of stuff happening over the holidays too. Use promo code SGPN25. Download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm. Use the promo code SGPN25. That was pick number 3, by the way, Barry. I keep forgetting to read them out. Man City, West Ham. So we've had 2, 3, and 4, and 7 so far. 3 o'clock, Wolverhampton Wanderers take on Brentford. Wolves are 5-2. The draw is 13-5 plus 260. Brentford are even money. This is me. This is pick number. Can't find it. 7, 8. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Number 6. Number 6 on the list. Pretty simple, but Wolves showed up a little bit, did they? At Arsenal? I don't know if they did. They didn't
They did.
Yeah. They showed up a little bit at Arsenal, still lost. Lost 14 of 16. No wins, 2 points. Brentford have won 6 times, so they are capable. They've won games against West Ham and Burnley, which are the other 2 teams in the relegation zone. The obvious problem here is their away form. But Brentford made tons of changes last night. They played well, and I just think they're playing well enough to turn Wolves over. It's not a great pick. Let's say it's down at number 6 on my list. But I just think Brentford will win, Baz.
No Ray going here. Yeah, maybe it's a bit of a surprising one. There's 10 defeats in a row now for Wolves. An absolute shit show. And I did think they were a little unlucky last week. I mean, 2 own goals at the end of the day. Arsenal required. But ultimately it was another defeat. And as I say, 10 in a row. They've only scored 2 goals in the last 7 games now, which generally makes it impossible to fancy anyone who can't score goals. However, I've got there. I mean, generally at this point, you see a team even money to beat Wolves, and I would be drawn in. But I've just got a funny feeling this might be the weekend. Wolves will win somewhere this season. They're not going to go all season without winning a game. It'll be a home game against the average side, like Brentford. And Brentford have lost 5 in a row away from home now. And in the league, they've lost 7 of their 8 away games. The only team that beat was West Ham. So they're not in good form. won only one of the last 6 games, and that win was against Burnley, which could be a good comparison. Fair enough. But the other concern for Brentford's injuries, Thiago and Henderson missed out last night, both with knocks, I think. I don't think it was rotated. And there's potential that they could miss out again at the weekend. 2 important players for them as well if they did miss out. I think this is the moment for Wolves. Wolves double chances 8-11, but I'm not bothered about that. I'm just going to take Wolves as an underdog here. 5-2, Wolves are going to win.
Okay, a little crossfire there. A lot of calls for the 1-1 of the week, maybe. Smudger. Fifth's gone 1-1 and 2-2. 16-1, the 2 old draw. Not a bad price. 5:30. This is fucking mental, this game. Tottenham take on Liverpool. Tottenham 12-5 plus 240. Liverpool, the draw 11-4 plus 275. Liverpool 21-20 plus 105. A little bit of line movement. Liverpool have drifted ever so slightly, just a 20th of a point since this afternoon. Baz, Spurs, Liverpool, tricky this, isn't
it? Yeah. I mean, it's hard to know who's had the worst of it lately. Spurs are an absolute mess. Only 1 win from their last 7 league games now. Well beaten last week against Forest. And although Liverpool have obviously had their issues, they are unbeaten in the last 5 now. I mean, there's a couple of poor draws which they'd be disappointed in there, but they have had a couple of away wins. I still don't know if I trust Liverpool defensively, but Ekitike has looked good in recent weeks. I think that they're going to get goals out of him, and I think they've got the goals in to beat Spurs. Liverpool at around evens was tempting, but Spurs defence is the reason why I've gone for this pick. They've conceded at least 2 goals in 5 of the last 6 games in the league, Spurs. So I thought the safer pick was Liverpool's team total. Liverpool to score 2 or more. It means I don't have to worry about what shit they pull up at the other end of the pitch. And Spurs, as I say, conceding 2 regularly. Liverpool to score 2 or more is 4-5 here. I think it's a fair price. That's going to be my pick. Liverpool team total over 1.5 goals.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick, Baz. I really, really struggled with this. This was number 10 on my list. If you're going to go and count your mugs, I'd go and do it now while I talk you through my pick, because it's dog shit. I'm just saying, this is word salad with a pick that I don't believe in at the end of it.
Number 10 on the list?
Hey?
Is this number 10 on the list?
Yeah, number 10, yeah. Shane wants Liverpool. Joe Dollar wants Liverpool. So 1 win in 7 for Tottenham was against Brentford. It's not the strongest form. 2 of 8 at home. Goals is good for Tottenham. 5 of 6 over 2.5. Liverpool much better. Wins with clean sheets against Brighton and Inter. But I'm just not keen to trust them at this price. Their patterns for goals aren't there at all. Their only away wins came at Newcastle, which was a bit lucky. West Ham and Burnley. So evens, I think, is too short. So headed into the stats market, as I often do when I can't think of a pick. Tottenham, shots and shots on target, both they're 17th in the rankings for shots and shots on target. The bookies are onto it. The prices are adjusted. Liverpool right up there, actually. 15.6 shots per game. But only 4.3 of those on target per match. So the match line's just too high. So there is a reason this is pick number 10. It's under 8.5 shots on target at 5-6, minus 20. Let's just all forget that ever happened. I'll tell you what's next, Barry. Keyboard. Kick off the game that is gripping the Southern Hemisphere. Shane's joined in just for this. I've checked the discard pile, Barry, and I reckon, in fact, I'll show you right now. I reckon we are right halfway through the second half. Look, we've played that many and we've got that many left. So we're 22 minutes into the second half here. Barry 2-1. The ball is on C3 in your half. I believe Betty sent you your new card. It's your turn, Baz. Speaking of the devil, here is Betty. She's come to adjudicate like that bloke off the lottery used to have to do.
Yeah.
Go on
then. Tricky one, this. I am going to go for forward 7.
Forward 7. 1,
And
2,
then
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
3 left on the diagonal towards the corner.
Out of play that goes for a throw-in.
That's all right.
Okay, now first throw-in of the first. I think that's the first throw-in of the match. If you had over half a throw-in, get to the window, cash your bet. So that's gone out for a throw on G1 in my half. Okay. I don't mind that, Baz. I don't mind it. I'm going to play. I'm just going to go straight 7 up the line. So from G1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's on A1. Just over halfway line into your half of the pitch, Barry. That's A1 in Barry's half, everyone. A1. That was tremendously exciting. I think we can all agree. 8 o'clock is 3 p.m. Eastern. Everton take on Arsenal. Everton 9-2 plus 450. Arsenal are 3-5. 4-6 minus 150. The draw is 3-1. Is this you, Baz? Or me?
It might be me. I'll happily kick off with it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Everton, bit of a mystery at the minute, particularly their home form. Currently alternating wins and losses. They had a comfortable win over Forest 3-0 last time out. Well beaten by Newcastle before that. They had a comfortable win against Fulham, but well beaten by Spurs before that. Just seem all over the place. There's no consistency there with Everton. If you follow that trend in the home games, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, they're due to have a defeat here. And looking at Everton's record this season against the top end sides, they have struggled. They've already lost to Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, amongst others. Arsenal did make hard work of it last week, but they got there in the end and still only lost 1 game since August. So I felt like I had to stick with Arsenal here. Everton are just too inconsistent and haven't yet produced a result against this level of opposition this season. So I am going to take Arsenal, but obviously you need to pimp it up a little bit to get a price. So I'm going to tag on the under 3.5 goals. Arsenal's last 5 all went under 3.5. Everton games have only went over 3.5 once, I think, in the last 14 games. So Arsenal won't run away with it. They don't seem to do that against anyone at the moment. Arsenal win and under 3.5 goals at 21-20.
Shane said he thought kickoff would be more exciting live. It's absolutely not, Shane. If anything, it's worse. Remarkably, it's worse in person than if you just have to endure it over the airwaves like 24 hours later. I'm on the other side of this, Baz. No ray gun here. And I will tell you why, and I'm fucking quite bullish about this. It's number 9 on my list, but I feel like it should go up a little bit. Everton were disappointing last week at Chelsea, but they're decent at home. 1-4, drawn 2, lost 2. The last home game was a 3-0 win over Forest. The weird one is that 4-1 against Newcastle. That's the outlier, really, in their game, look. Arsenal lost at Villa and then scraped past Wolves. That's the last 2. Like, beating Wolves by 1 is like lose. What did we? I think we handicapped Wolves a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? Said you've got to win by at least 3. That's like a draw. So, and they did win, but they lost at Villa in the last away game. And 4-6 doesn't appeal at all for a team with 1 win in 5 away at top half teams. Everton is sitting in 9th. So they played 5 top half teams away from home. Don't shake your head, Baz, but they've won 1. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? That's true, though, isn't it?
Everton aren't a top half side. They currently reside in the top half temporarily.
Right, but hang on, I'll get the other 5, those 5 games out then. Well, let's talk about it. Arsenal have played away from home. Aston Villa lost. Chelsea drew. Man United won 1-0 opening day. Liverpool lost. Sunderland, yes, no, drew. And now Everton. So they played 5 times and won once. And you want me to take 4-6, Barry? It's not you know what I mean? Take the name Arsenal away. If I gave you that, so there's a game in the Bulgarian First Division this weekend. Lokomotiv Plovdiv have won once away from home in 5 times. They're 4-6. You fancy them? You'd say no. So there you go. I like Lokomotiv Plovdiv. Second only to Ludogorets. So I don't mind Everton as a dog. We might revisit that later on. But Everton double chance here. 5-4. And a bit like Newcastle at home, they get up for it, you know what I mean? They'll be scrappy, they can defend the Arsenal set pieces. Tarkowski, Keane, all of those boys at the back, O'Brien, they'll be ready for it. So Everton double chance here, 5-4 plus 125. Next up is, these are 2 8 o'clock games on Saturday night. So that Everton Arsenal's 8 o'clock. This is fucking nuts, isn't it? The second one is Leeds versus Crystal Palace.
This is all because of the Arsenal Palace game next week.
Right.
They're really having to cram the games. They couldn't put it on the Sunday because the Arsenal Palace game, I assume, is on the Tuesday. But that, by virtue, means Palace are playing tonight and then Saturday. So that's why they've got the Saturday night instead of a Sunday game coming out of Europe.
Look at Barry with the knowledge. Barry coming with the knowledge. Leeds United 8-5 plus 160. 23-10 the draw plus 230. Palace 7-4 plus 175. Palace did play tonight. They won 1-0, I think, didn't they? Or they were.
They got beat 2-1, I think. They were 2-1 down, yeah.
Oh well. I know they've made complete and utter wholesale changes. In fact, I only checked the score at half time, so it's entirely possible it changed in the second half. So
I finished 2-2. I've just checked. So there must have been a late goal. I saw 2-1 when I came on here, but finished 2-2.
Oh, I mean, it bears no resemblance. It was a complete shadow team. Leeds have had a little renaissance. 5 points from the last 3 games, including games against Chelsea and Liverpool. Decent. And the home form is good. They've scored 10 in the last 5 games. And I get the feeling, Baz, that all is not well at Palace. There's a lot of gut in this handicap, actually. The surface form is okay, but you've got the continued speculation about the manager. And the manager doesn't seem to do himself any favours, by the way. He doesn't, dampen it down or quite. He doesn't give a shit, does he? He couldn't give a fuck, that bloke. If he gets an offer, he'd be out the door like that. Munoz is out for a long time. He's having an injury. And Ismaila Sarr is off to AFCON. He's another one. 1,011 minutes. He's right up there in terms of players playing regularly who've left. Over 1,000 minutes and 4 goal involvements is what you're taking out of Palace with this Ismaila Sarr's missing. And the play tonight, like I said, not a huge problem. So a lot of this is good. And there's a lot of things just going against Palace. And Leeds are fierce at home. I'm going to give Leeds a chance here. 8-5 plus 160.
Yeah, I really like my pick here. It's not the same as yours, but my first thought was that it was a horrible game for Palace, given they were playing tonight in Europe. Usually they'd have the Sunday kickoff, but the fixture congestion, as I say, means that's not possible because they've got Arsenal in the Cup next week. However, as you say, a lot less concerned when you look at the lineup they put out tonight. I think it bears no significance to what's going to happen at the weekend now, given they just rotated pretty much everyone. So the key players should be coming in fresh enough. As you say, Saw will be a big loss for them. Still going to be a tough game going to Ellen Road, but Palace do have good form away from home recently. They've won 5 of the last 6 away from home in all competitions and 3 in a row in the league as well. So I'm not sure they're having as many problems as you're making out. Leeds have picked up recently, unbeaten in 3 games in the league, having beat Chelsea and then drawn against Liverpool and Brentford. So some decent form there for Leeds. I've landed on a bet that's purely influenced by the Leeds form line because there's goals all over it. 7 of the last 8 games went over 2.5 goals. And the last 6 in a row also both teams to score as well. And the odds for goals here are big enough. You don't need to double them up. You don't need to take both of them. I really like the both teams to score because I'd back Leeds for a goal at home where they've only failed to score once all season. Newcastle are the only team to shut Leeds out at Ellen Road. But I don't see them keeping Palace out. They haven't kept a clean sheet since August, Leeds. Everybody scores against Leeds. So the both teams to score, I think, is a great pick. 4-5.
Yeah, nice play, Baz. Don't mind it. I think Leeds might touch him off 2-1. Joe wants Palace. Mafia wants the draw. Megan Fefwef have agreed on something. So there you go. Merry Christmas, everyone. That was pick number 5, Barry, on my list, that one. Go to Sunday. There's only one game on Sunday. It's the 4:30 kickoff between Aston Villa and Manchester United. That's 11:30 Eastern time. Villa 11 to 10, plus 110. 13 to 5 the draw, plus 260. Manchester United 23 to 10, plus 230, Baz.
Yeah, can I just mention here, a Man United player did make the thumbnail on YouTube today, as requested by Courtney last week.
Who was it?
So Cunha's on there.
Okay.
Though I did look, they were making out like I never put a Man United player on the thumbnail.
I've seen
It
loads.
was only
I
about
reckon.
6 or 7 episodes ago. That was last one there. So I've pandered to it this time, but I'm not having it again. That's it. Done for the season. But
Patriarchy, Baz. Third
but
time
anyway,
tonight.
back to the game. What's this with Man United playing on a Sunday as well? Anyway, it's normally Monday night, isn't it? For Man
Well, it
United?
is standalone, though, isn't it? It's the only game on.
Yeah, classic. I couldn't get away from Villa as soon as I opened it and saw the prices. On a 9-game winning streak, they've scored at least 2 goals in 8 of those 9. And the home form's really hot as well. 9 wins in a row at home. They've already beaten Arsenal and Man City at home this season. And I just expected them to be a shorter price than they are here. Man U aren't losing many lately, just 1 defeat in 7. But they've only won 2 of the 7. And when you look at the fixtures they've had recently, it's been a really, really favourable run of games. So I think, despite the fact they're not losing many, they've still not performed great in that little run. They've lost Mbumo, Ahmad and Mazraoui. They're all off to AFCON. Mbumo has been influential lately, will be a big miss. I just think Villa win this, don't they? 11 to 10 Villa was where I went at first, but then I got a bit sort of taken in by the team total. Villa over 1.5 goals. It's around 4 to 5, so it's a little bit shorter. But as I mentioned before, they've scored 2 or more in 8 of the last 9 games, Villa. So I thought that's where I've ended up. Man U have had goals in them recently, but they know how to let them in at the other end. Villa team total over 1.5, 4 to 5.
Okay, so yeah, slightly different weighing. Shane wants the Villa. Francis has gone with Villa to win and Morgan Rogers to score. Rogers in great form. This, Barry, was pick number 1. This is it. This is the hot pick on the list. Everything draws me to Villa. So instinct drew me to Villa. Recent success, betting on them, always helps me, particularly. That draws me to Villa. And then the pure form lines draws me to Villa. The form lines that you just took us to. 10 wins in 11, including home wins against Man City and Arsenal. If you're handicapping this like a horse race, it just, the form points to Aston Villa. Man United unbeaten in 4, but the form doesn't look that strong. The win against Wolves was meaningless. And then the drew v West Ham and Bournemouth. And then you mentioned Mbumo, Ahmad and Mazraoui, which is 3,057 minutes, Barry. 3rd in the Prem behind Sunderland and Fulham. 11 goals and assists, taking out that team. Mazraoui's probably the best defender. Mbumo's probably been the best attacker. And Ahmad's up there like he's 4th, 5th name on the team sheet. So you've got to take them out as well. Great chance for Villa. And if they don't win, they don't owe me anything because they've won 10 out of 11 at all kinds of prices. So yeah, and it looks like it's a team right in the chat as well. Like we'll take Villa at 11 to 10 plus 110. Final game is on Monday night, 8 o'clock kickoff, 3 p.m. Eastern. Fulham take on Nottingham Forest. Fulham 7 to 5 plus 140. 9 to 4 the draw plus 225. And the draw is 2 to 1. Tricky game is number 8 on my list. I've been quite high on Fulham, kind of all season. I've seen them twice this year, including yesterday. I was quite impressed again. I think they're good. They're tidy. They're well coached. They've got some good players. They've won 4 out of 8 at home, including 3 comparison games against bottom 6 teams, which is where Forest are. 3-1 Brentford, 1-0 Leeds, 3-0 Wolves. Forest are impossible. The last 2 wins, 3-0 win v Tottenham, 3-0 defeat v Everton. Like, what do you do? They have won 4 of the last 6. So I do like Fulham. I just think they're too short. If this was closer to like 7 to 4 each of 2, I would pull the trigger on Fulham. I do think it's a bit of a WTF in that regard, that Forest appeal more at the prices. I don't understand if the two options over or under 2.5, the over's the shorter one. Over's a bigger price. 4 in a row in the league for Fulham. 20 goals in Fulham's last 4 games, by the way. I know you've got the 5-4 against City. That's still 11 in the other 3. Plenty goals. And then Forest's last 2, we've both gone over 2.5. So there's plenty of evidence there. You're getting even money. I don't get it. Over 2.5 goals, even money.
Yeah. I didn't particularly like this game when I come to it because both teams are a bit all over the place, aren't they? You mentioned Forest 3-0 defeat one week, 3-0 win the next. Never quite sure what you're going to get from one week to the next. I thought it does look to be a decent one for them in terms of attacking output, for Forest, that is. Fulham are shipping plenty of goals. They've conceded 10 in their last 4 games and have conceded at least 2 in each of those last 4. The over 2.5 in both teams to scores hit in each of Fulham's last 5 games as well. Overs for Forest have hit in the last 3. So there was form for goals everywhere. And with Forest, they can hit this line in a variety of ways, can't they? They can run out comfortable winners 3-0. They can lose 3-0. They could play out a 2-2. They've had a couple of them already this season. All the ways you can get the goals in Forest games. As I say, I found it tricky to come down on a side here. So I went the same way. Goals, over 2.5 goals at evens.
And that, how many was that? Only 3 then? We never got to only 3.
Yeah.
The record remains intact. Fulham were both teams to score for Joe. Fefwef has obviously gone for Fulham on the money line, which is fair enough. Seeing Anderson looked like he took a knock last day. Fulham have lost their key players. Fulham lost. Yeah, they were, did they say, second in minutes behind Sunderland. It was Sunderland, Fulham, then Manchester United. Bassi, Chukwueze, and Iwobi as well. So yeah, I just didn't fancy. It was hard to pick a side, so I did think the goals was the best option in that one. Well, Baz, 10 games in the hutch. We'll start off with the exotics. I'll start with Data Dave because we got to the get to know Data Dave earlier on with his numbers of members of the family. Times 2, add 2 is the correct amount of mugs. So thanks for that, Dave. Dave, for the second week running, Baz, has picked a pick that I've picked. Ooh. He's gone. I know, yeah. He's shut the bed lately. He's absolutely dropped his arse. He was on fire, wasn't he? He got to like 8-2 or something. I think he's back to 8-6 now. He's probably on the fritz. Man City -2 is Data Dave's pick. At even money, Manchester City against West Ham. My lock, really, having ranked the games 1 to 10, it can only be pick number 1, can't it? I would be some sort of Doylem if I picked number 7 as my lock. So it's Aston Villa at that price. Villa are locked up. My underdog, I'm going to go for Everton at 9-2. Too big a price for the Toffees. Corned beef pie accumulator is over 2.5 goals. It's just a little double. 23-10 plus 230. Newcastle, Chelsea, Fulham, Forest. Over 2.5 double. And my stake and Stilton accumulator is Everton, Leeds, and Fulham at 33-1. Anytime goal scorer was mentioned earlier on in the chat by Fefwe. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Baz. It's all right, decent form, isn't he? 11-2, first and last. 15-8 plus 187 anytime, Baz.
Yeah, so my lock is Villa as well, but I've gone for Villa team total. Villa score 2 or more. My dog's going to be Wolves. I've put Wolves out as a pick, so got to put them in as my dog as well at 5-2. Scorer, I've gone for Ekitike, 11-8 anytime, 5-1 first and last for Liverpool. My corned beef pie is the top 3 all to win. Arsenal win, City win, Villa win. Comes in at 3-1. And then my stake and Stilton as an underdog pick. I've got Wolves to win, Palace to. I'm all on Wolves. Wolves is going to fuck everything up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wolves, Palace, and Newcastle all to win, 25-1. 3 underdogs there, 25-1.
Beautiful. Good effort, Baz. Any lifestyle chat? I know we're already 1 minute into the official start time of the AFCON episode, but on the grounds, all of our listeners are here anyway. We're not putting anyone off. Anything you want to tell anyone, Barry? I might. I've got some advice I could possibly ask of you if you've got enough.
You can put that in the next episode if you want.
Okay, yeah, it's not a bad show. We did say it was going to be all business.
Well, it can be. It's up to you. I'm in Birmingham tomorrow. Final gig of the year, I think. So yeah, trip to Birmingham. We might stay over
to see.
So the same band we saw for the last 2 Fridays. Funnily enough, the Claws, yeah. But there's a band called the Lilacs supporting them, a Wigan band. Bit of a sound like the Cortinas. Nice. They're a good support band, so I'm looking forward to seeing them. And a band called the Kairos Scousers are also supporting. So 3 good bands that we like. So yeah, looking forward. It should be a good night. I think we're going to book a hotel, so me and Helen can both have a bit of a booze up as well.
Yeah. You know what irrationally put me off the Cortinas was that Jordan Pickford said they were his favourite band.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Otherwise, that
it just spoils it a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Cortinas as well.
Yeah. There's no reason. I should be allowed to still like them. There's just something about that little armed, unwashed divvy that get on me. Right, okay, Baz, we'll go away.
And then we'll come back.
We'll come back. I'm going to go and make a cup of tea. I'm going to use the same mug. I'm not going to use another one of the 24 other mugs that are out there. I'll make a cup of tea and we'll come back and we'll talk about AFCON in about 90 seconds or so. If you don't want to listen to that, I don't blame you. And we'll be back. What happens next, Barry, with us? Have you got any idea? Football, Premier League games?
I mean, we must be in the Yeah, we'll be into Christmas fixtures, won't we?
So we'll have to do a show maybe on the 23rd. Or the 24th is what we'll have to do. Can you manage that?
I just do what I'm told.
You do? Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm free. Right. From the 23rd, I think I don't know. Days just get lost, don't they? Nobody knows what they're doing any day.
Yeah, I had an argument with Kieran Dyer one night in the 3 Mile Inn about that over Christmas, but that's a tale for another day. Right, thanks, everybody. That was fun. Good luck with all your picks and enjoy the football, etc. We will be back before the next round of fixtures pre-Christmas, so keep your eyes peeled for that. AFCON coming up if you were in any way interested. Otherwise, we'll see you all down the roads. Cheers.